Mr. Now Albay, W.S. Maugham. Once I was going by ship from San Francisco to Oklahoma. I sketched my cabin with a man called Mr. Kellogg. He was short and of sturdy build, clean-shaven and dark skinned, with a hooked nose and very large, liquid eyes. His long black hair was curly, and though he introduced himself as an Englishman, I felt sure that he was born under bluer sky than is generally seen in England. Mr. College was just a hick talk of New York and of San Francisco. He did sketch plays, picture, and politics. He was familiar. Though I was a total stranger to him, he used no such formality to put Mr. B for my name when he addressed me. I didn't like Mr. Clayton. I not only shared a cabin with him and ate 3 meals a day, the same table, but I couldn't walk around the deck without his joining me. It never occurred to him that he was not wanted. He was certain that you were as glad to see him as he was glad to see you in your own house. Have kicked him downstairs and slammed the door in his face, and M.G. Gladze was around everything. He counting the actions, the collected money for press at the sports, organized the concert, and arranged the fancy dress ball. He was everywhere and always. He was certainly the best-hated man in the ship. We called him Mr. Know-all, even to his face. Ramsey was in the American Consular Service and was stationed at Colby. He was a great heavy fellow. He was on his way back to resume his post, having been on a plane visit to New York to fetch his wife, who had been spending a year at home. Mrs. Ramsey was a very pretty little thing with pleasant manner and a sense of humor. She was dressed always very simply, but she knew how to wear her clothes. Was impossible to snap him a good mixer, and in 3 days knew everyone on board. He drifted to the subject of one evening and dinner. The conversation purpose. There was some argument between Mr. College and Ramsey about the value of capture and real purpose. I did not believe Ramsey knew anything about the subject at all. At least College got furious and shouted, "Well, I know what I am talking about. I'm going to Japan just to look into the Japanese pearl business. In the trade, I know the best pearls in the world, and what I don't know about pearls isn't worth knowing." He was news for us, for Mr. Kellogg had never told anyone what his business about pearls isn't worth knowing. Here was news for us, for Mr. Kellogg had never told anyone what his business was. Ramsey leaned forward. "That a pretty chain, isn't it?" he asked, pointing to the chain that Mrs. Ramsey wore. "I noticed it at once," answered Mr. Kellogg. "Though as perhaps all right, I didn't buy it myself, of course," said Ramsey. "I wonder how much you think it cost."